I'm just in college. Why should I work on my personal branding? I'm just getting started to work. Do I really need to work on my personal branding at the moment? Shouldn't I have some experience and explore various things before I start working on it? How do I create my personal brand? A lot of people talk about personal branding niches. How do I understand and arrive at my personal branding niche? Now, these are some of the many questions that I keep getting from my team, my students all the time. Personal branding is an extremely important aspect of your personality, and it's important for you to start working on building your personal brand from today. Yesterday would have been better, but if not, definitely from today. Why is it so important to do your personal branding? The bigger the brand, the higher the price that you charge. Let's take the example of Coke. Would you be willing to pay higher for a Coke versus colored water bottle? Absolutely, Coke, right? Or let's say you want to paint your house. Would you use Asian paints or Paints? Definitely Asian Paints. Asian Paints has been in the market for a long period of time. We know that they provide a huge range of colors and you can choose any of them. They're extremely good in their service. They can deliver to you in 24 hours and they stand for high quality. You will definitely go for Asian Paints. And in all probability, you'll be willing to pay a higher price for Asian Paints versus Paints. By the way, there is nothing called as Paints. It's something that I just cooked up. So the bigger the brand, the higher the price that it commands. The bigger the brand, the higher the visibility that it has, the higher the mind space, the higher the recall that it has. The bigger the brand, the higher the influence that it has on its stakeholders, its customers. If you're a fan of a movie star, it's quite likely that you will be influenced by the star more than your neighbor, isn't it? And that's nothing but the impact of a big brand speaking. So it's extremely important for you to start working on your personal brand so that you can command a higher salary when you're going for a new job. You can get higher visibility and hence more opportunities. And number three, the higher your personal brand, the bigger your personal brand, the higher your influence on various aspects of your journey towards your goals. The one question that keeps coming is, how do I get started? How do I start creating a personal brand, right? Now, this module is not to talk in detail about creating the personal brand, but it's about identifying your personal branding niche, okay? We'll do a lot of discussion around the 6 steps to identify your personal branding niche. But to give you a quick view of the steps to create your personal brand, fairly simple, fairly easy to understand. The first and the foremost thing is to become self-aware. What are people telling you? Have an ear to that. What are people talking about you? Have an ear to that, right? What are you good at? What are the compliments that you're getting? What are the criticisms that you're getting? What are the things that you can strengthen based on what they are talking about you? And also, what are the things that you can work on based on what they are talking about you? The first basic step is becoming self-aware. There's another module that I created on self-evaluation. If you haven't watched it as it, do go and have a look at self-evaluation and the details, the clear details of self-evaluating oneself. The second step is creating your story, your experience, your purpose, your vision, your goal, your passion. All of this can help you arrive at your personal branding niche. And the third step is to enrich your relationship with people in a deep, well-connected manner. It takes some time. It has to be done one by one, but it has to be done that way. Brands are not built overnight. Brands are built over a period of time with a lot of consistency and thought process. So these are the 3 simple ways of arriving at creating your personal brand. But the big question is, where do you play? People generally ask me, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at A, B, C, D, I'm good at X and Y. So there are 10 things that I'm good at. So where do I start building my personal brand? Should I work on X? Should I work on Y? Should I work on A? Should I work on a combination of all these? Now that's exactly what we are trying to unveil in the 6-step process to identify your personal brand, right? So shall we get started? Yeah, it's a fairly long list of things that needs to be done, but very, very simple to understand. The first step to identify your personal branding niche is to identify your level 1 goal. Okay, before we start, I just want you to assume that we are trying to create a personal branding niche for somebody who is trying to seek a job, his first job or her first job in the market. Okay, with that assumption, we'll go into the 6 steps, right? The first step is identifying your level 1 goal, which is your dream industry. Identify which industry do you want to be in. Do you want to be in the IT industry? Do you want to be in the telecom industry, auto industry, advertising industry, retail industry, or any other industry? Identify where do you want to build your career in. Step number 2, get slightly more crisper and clearer. Which are your dream companies, or which are the segments that you want to play? Let me explain. When we say dream companies, let's say you want to be in the tech industry. You could be in Apple, you could be in Google, you could be in Amex, you could be in Infi, you could be in any IT industry company, right? You could also be saying, I'm not sure whether I want to be in an Apple or a Google, but I'm clear that I want to play in the premium market, or I want to play in the mass market. Now, what does premium market mean? Apple is servicing the premium market. Differentiated product at a high price is what defines the premium market, right? Apple is one such. BMW is another one like that, right? Mercedes-Benz is another one like that, right? On the other side, a DMart is a mass market, right? The pricing is the least and the differentiation is very less. They play purely on pricing. It could be the Nanos of the world, right? So step number 2 is to get slightly more crisper on where you want to play. Step number 3 is to be even more specific on what is the job that you would love to do. I want to be a marketing analyst. I want to be a financial analyst, or I want to be an investment banker. I want to be a marketing manager. I want to be an operations leader. Any of these roles can be your dream role, right? So identify your dream job or your dream role in step 3, right? So what do we have now? Let's take talk. You have your dream industry, you have your dream company or your dream segment, and you have your dream role. Now, these are the basic 3 things that are required before you get into step 4. Now let's understand what is step 4. Now step 4 requires a bit of homework, right? I'm sure you're all ready to do your homework to identify one of the most important aspects, which is your personal branding niche. As a part of step 4, what you will do is to go to LinkedIn, identify what you said in step 1, step 2, step 3, and download or open the job description of the jobs that matches what you have said in step 1, step 2, and step 3, right? You can do this on LinkedIn, you can go to Monster, you can go to any of the other jobs, and you will figure out a job that is closest to what you're trying to do, right? So financial analyst in a auto sector, you will figure out that there are 5 different profiles and there are different expectations that are mentioned in each of these profiles. Now, after going through that, list down the expectations mentioned in the job description in the categories of what are the functional expectations, what are the technical expectations, what are the behavioral expectations, right? Make a laundry list of it, make a quick and dirty list of it, and then we move to step number 5. And in step number 5, from the expectations that you identified under functional, technical, and behavioral, you identify the areas that are possibly your strengths. Start marking the ones that are strengths for you. I have an example for you, so bear with me. We'll go through an example so that you understand this precisely, right? So you identify the areas under these skills which are your strengths. Once you're completed with step 5, the simple deduction is a combination of the strengths and the expectations in the above 3 areas, which is functional, technical, and behavioral, will be in the sweet spot for your personal branding niche. I'll repeat that. A combination of your strengths in the expectations in these 3 aspects, which is functional, technical, and behavioral, should be the sweet spot for your personal branding niche. And an example of that could be high energy financial analyst with expertise in Oracle financials. Okay. Example number 2, detail-oriented social media marketer with experience in retail industry. Example number 3, highly collaborative program manager with a good understanding of Microsoft Project Manager, right? I'll just take a pause. I hope it's a bulb-on moment for you and you've been able to arrive at a fairly reasonable personal branding niche in just 6 steps, right? I'll repeat it for you. Identify your level 1 goal, which is your dream industry. Step number 2, identify your level 2 goal. Become more specific which dream company or which segment that you want to play in. Step number 3, identify your dream job or your dream role, right? Whether it is a marketing analyst, financial analyst, investment banker, or whatever it might be. Step number 4, go to the jobs platform, LinkedIn platform, and identify the job descriptions of roles that comes closest to what you have said in step number 1, 2, and 3. And once you get a feel of 5, 6 job descriptions, figure out what is being sought out in these job descriptions under functional skills, technical skills, and behavioral skills. And once you have that, map your strengths to the ones that are already listed. So if you get a list of 20 different skill sets that are expected from the role, identify which one of those would be your strengths, right? Because finally, you need to play authentic and be genuine if you have to make real progress, right? Faking is not going to work. And that's something that is not recommended at all. It's absolutely important to be authentic. And once you map your strengths and identify the areas of your strengths, a combination of your strengths in these 3 areas should be the sweet spot for your personal branding niche. Now let's do an example, a live example that I have done it for a certain role in a certain industry and with real job descriptions that I got on LinkedIn, right? So let's give it a crack. So in this example, let's assume the dream industry is the e-commerce industry, and the dream company that this person wants to work for is Amazon, and the dream role that this person wants to play is that of a financial analyst. So we have identified step 1, which is e-commerce, step 2, which is Amazon, and step 3, which is financial analyst. Now, keeping these 3 in mind, let's try and build the personal branding niche for this person. All right, let's identify the functional skills that were expected from the profiles that I saw. Monthly P&L analysis, financial reporting, planning and forecasting, weekly KPIs, problem solving and decision making, and retail industry background. Now, what do the colored ones mean? The colored ones are the indication of the strength of the person amongst these skills that are asked for. So of the 6 skills that are asked for, there are 2 skills that the person is strong in, which is monthly P&L analysis and financial reporting. Technical skills, the ask is for knowledge of SQL, knowledge of Cognos, knowledge of advanced Excel, automation tools, and process standardization. And amongst these 5 skills that are asked for, this person is good in the knowledge of SQL, and that's a strength for that person. And finally, behavioral, timely and accurate reporting, detail orientation, collaboration with business, felicitation of financial reviews, and finally, challenging status quo. And of these 5, this person is strong in detail orientation and collaboration with the business, right? So now, from the 3 categories of skills that the companies are looking for, we have the set of skills that are also the strengths of this person: monthly P&L analysis, financial reporting, knowledge of SQL, data orientation, and collaboration with the business. Now, using these 5, let's understand and learn how to create your one-line personal branding niche statement. Yeah, this is exciting, right? So the statement, just copy the statement and fill in the blanks for yourself. I'm doing this for the example that we discussed above. Now, in this case, the personal branding niche statement is as follows. I'm an aspiring financial analyst in the e-commerce industry with good knowledge in SQL and financial analysis with excellent collaborative skills. I'll reread it so that you understand this slowly. I am an aspiring dash, and here dash stands for the dream role that you mentioned in step number 3. In the dash industry, the industry that you mentioned in step number 1, with good knowledge in SQL and financial analysis. With good knowledge in dash, and in this dash, you write the strengths that you have in the technical and functional areas, which is, in this case, SQL and financial analysis, with excellent dash skills. And in this dash, you write your behavioral strength. And that gives you your personal branding niche statement. I hope it's a bulb on moment for you, and super easy. Takes an hour's time to do a good job, and it's important for you to do a good job in this, because once you identify your personal branding niche statement, then you start building your personal brand across the various social media platforms. Could be LinkedIn, could be job portals, could be your resume, could be the profile summary that you're working on. And the moment you start acting consistently and start talking about these key areas, believe me, the way people perceive you will change. You will be seen as one of the few who are experts in that specific field, and that's the beauty of it. And to answer one of the questions that I had mentioned early on, a niche has to be a niche. You can't be an expert in every field. You have to play in a niche that you're super confident of. I hope this exercise was helpful for you, and it's been super exciting and interesting for me to work this for you. It's a very important area, and if you're a part of my community, if you purchased the silver membership or the gold membership or the diamond membership, I'm sure you'd have seen a lot of modules like this to help you realize the full potential within you. If you're not, take charge of yourself, take charge of the course of action for yourself, and become a part of my community by purchasing the silver module or the gold module or the diamond module. I would recommend to start with for you to purchase the silver module and test how you feel about it. Look forward to see you on the inside. All the best.